Hello, everybody. Welcome back to DND404. I am your DM, Tony, and joined with me today are the other three minor inconveniences that get me irrationally angry, starting with the Jared.
What's going on, guys? Armos checking in. I would have to say something that just really rustles my jimmies is change. I don't know what it is, but like pennies, nickels, dimes that you find all over the place. Oh, drives me crazy. I will literally gather it all up, take it, exchange it for cash, and then I never want it. If I ever have to pay in cash and they hand me like quarters back, I'm like, no, I don't.
I thought you were talking about life change, and I was like, what's minor about that? I hate change. I can't deal with it.
I don't want no metal coins for currency.
Change, man.
I don't want to move to Alaska.
Right. Dude, credit cards being a thing, I've always used like cards, debit cards, whatever, and I love it. I don't like having change. I don't even like having like dollars like on me. You know what I mean? Just let's make it all digital. Bitcoin all the way. Let's go. Woo, to the moon.
I'm the opposite, but we'll talk about that in the after show. Hello, everybody. My name is Dan. I play Minnis PebbleWalker, your tiny little swarm keeper ranger, and I am definitely irrationally angry of those moments where you get really cozy on the couch. You got blankets covering you, you got everything situated, and then you realize that you forgot the remote across the room, and you have to unbundle yourself to go pick it up.
Ooh. Or your phone or something.
Yeah, exactly. Something to switch the channels around or that you need to text or something. I don't know why. That gets me irrationally mad. Even Tony looks mad at that one.
Yeah, gets me real mad.
How about you, Alec?
Hello, everybody. My name is Alec. I play Drell of the Ashborn. And I'm actually very, very passionate about this one. A minor inconvenience that makes you irrationally angry would have to be the fact that I have to put my backpack under the seat in front of me on an airplane, and I can't put it overhead. I pay money to check my bag so I don't have to carry it on with me. But yet I have to save the overhead space for people who did not spend extra money to check their bags. So as a tall person, I don't even get to, since I paid money to check my bag, I should have the right to then put my carry-on or my personal item, my backpack, above overhead in the space that my suitcase would have been if I didn't check my bag. But because of this dumb policy, I have to put it under the seat in front of me, which then cramps my legs, which then makes my entire flight uncomfortable. It's a minor inconvenience, but it makes me irrationally angry. And I also can't stand, by the way, people that bring more than two items. You get a carry on in one personal item. You don't get to carry on a personal item, a guitar, and a bag of groceries. It's just not how it works. I told you, I'm very, very irrationally angry over this little inconvenience.
How about you, Tony?
What really like rustles my jimmies is actually it just happened before. It just happened right before we started recording. I have to change my headset battery. Can't stand it. I feel like every time I change it, I feel like I just changed this thing. It could be weeks apart, and every single time it's a huge inconvenience.
Yo, and the beep it makes, you get like 2 minutes of just beeps, and then it just straight dies on you, and it's like at any moment it's like a ticking bomb that's about to happen.
Oh, holy shit. Yo, shout out, suggestion the Steel series, because we have Steel series, the Arctic, whatever majiggy. Okay, make a better alert, like, oh hey, your headset might die in the next 30 minutes, right? Not 30 seconds before it goes out. And it's like, hey, it's going to die. Hey, change your battery. I can't even finish my goddamn match or like whatever I'm playing. I have to stop what I'm doing because it's just constantly beeping in your I can go all day about this. Anyway.
Oh, dude, I feel like it is like a combat reload. You know, like how when people are shooting guns and they do this like crazy reload. I'm like that when I'm playing like League and I have to like reload my headset with a new battery, bro. I'm efficient at it at this point, but it still drives me nuts.
It's talk about first world problems. Am I right?
Yeah, I know, right?
But man, it just gets me so heated. And then I tell Dan like, "Hey, I'm changing my battery. please hold on. And then he proceeds to talk to me about super important stuff that I can't comment on. And I finally get my battery and he goes, isn't that right, Tony? I'm like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Right, Dan?
Oh, and the worst is when they hit you with the, never mind, I'll just don't worry about it. Ugh.
Right, Dan?
Oh, that's why you didn't do that important thing you're supposed to do.
Oh, my God. Story of my life. Okay, all right. You know the deal. Before we roll for the recap, we're going to go ahead and do the rundown. And today's rundown is brought to you by Jared.
It's me. Okay. I'm really excited.
I can
I'm
tell.
so hyped.
Woo!
Okay. This week we're going to talk about Apple Podcasts. If you guys haven't checked it out, please do. We need to grow that side of our repertoire for sure. Also, beauty is that it has transcripts. Apple Podcasts are now slowly coming out with transcripts for every episode, which is amazing. We're going to take that information, throw it on the website, make it all pretty and everything like that. But Apple Podcasts, if you haven't subscribed to us, go check it out. If you can, leave a comment. We love you. Thank you. Apple Podcasts, DND404.
And now you know the deal. It's time to roll for the recap, where I roll a giant rubber foam D4 half eaten by my bunnies, where I am number 1, 2 is Alec, 3 is Dan, and 4 is Jared. How you doing? I totally remember that. All right. How would you like me to throw the dice today?
Do it from a handstand.
Can't do handstands.
Then
a backflip, easy.
Yeah,
both
backflip.
those things I cannot do. I am
Okay.
Just put it slightly on your D20 popcorn bucket and just let it slide off.
Or how about this? Put it on your head, give it like a knee as it falls off. Just like you're trying to keep a ball up in the air, like a soccer ball, but you gotta like stand up. There you go. Oh, okay. Maybe the balancing is asking way too much. We gotta stand up first. He's trying to do it sitting down. Corner. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm so glad
you can't see me if I stand up.
But we can see the dice.
Yeah, the dice matters.
The ground. We don't care about your face. Okay, he's finally standing up.
Face the corner.
Face the corner. Yeah, get out of here. Yeah.
It's just an excuse for us to see his tuchus.
He's like they have the dunce cap in the corner.
Yeah. There you go. That's fine. That was fine.
What is that?
Whatever it is, that works.
Your thing's in the way.
We're going too long on this.
Hey, it's a 2.
It's Alec.
Take it away, Alec.
Alec, go ahead and give us that recap.
Okay, so last episode, we were on the ship. Drell was fighting off in the corner as Armos was dealing with everything in the middle, and Minnis was trying to take care of the helm, and I believe the Captain Scarrow revealed some sort of device that had a bloodshard on it. As we were killing the pirates, Scarrow was resurrecting them. A frog Hemoth, I believe, also joined the battle from below the ship, and Armos locks it down, and Armos also locks down the captain and crew behind a wall and puts a force cage on the giant frog monster. After a long standoff and some conversation between the crew, Captain Scarrow tries to make a deal and consistently threatens to blow up the ship. After some more conversation between the gang, Minnis decides to make a last-ditch effort and dash towards Captain Scarrow, trying to grab the device. And that is where we are. Bard, play that music.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the world of Humbrea, featuring 3 first-time adventurers and 1 very patient DM. This is D&D 404. Gentlemen, boyos, we begin today's session in sudden darkness. The 3 of you are blinded, deafened, and confused. Armos, your sight comes to. You find yourself in a dreamlike state, an out-of-body experience, but it's familiar to you at the same time. You're in that pocket realm between realities, the place you go to when you form pacts with demons. However, the demon you see before you is small, black, and fuzzy. You see Reginald with his back facing you, all bloodied.
Oof.
Now, there is nothing around you. It is a complete empty black space, almost like with a platform of light just shining over the two of you. And this is commonly used as a space to negotiate with demons in the past. You were here once with Reginald and every other demon you have made a pact with.
Okay, but I just see his fluffy tail.
So yes, when you look at him, his back is all bloodied. You see 7 holes in his back where the wings were ripped out of. And you also notice that in his fuzzy, frazzled state, he looks very scrawny, as if he hasn't eaten in days or weeks. And you hear a little bit of sniffle. What are you doing?
Reginald? I walk up to him and I try to pick up his little fluff.
You walk over to him and you stop in place as he gives you like a side eye as he looks over to you. His ears are bent and crooked. And you hear Reginald's voice for the first time in a while. He goes, Hey, Armos.
What's going on, buddy? What's happening? You don't look so great.
Just living my best life here. And he turns around. He shows you the front of him, and you can see his rib cage. It looks like he's starving. Just taking it day by day.
I obviously don't have anything to, like, I don't have my bag or anything with me to where I can like give him anything, right?
You don't. As a matter of fact, the clothes that you wear here are like simple, plain clothes, like you would wear if you were comfortable at home. It's not even the gear that you're traveling around with. It's not your robes or anything. It's like simple pants and a cloth shirt. And and the reason why you're dressed this way is that so you're on an even playing field or even discussion field for whatever demon you're speaking to. You're almost like a visage of yourself.
Reginald, I mean, you look terrible. How can we help you? What's going on?
You're starving me out.
What do I got to do to? All right, point me in a direction, buddy. Who do I gotta talk to?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know. I've never been here before. When you tried to call me back, we had our pact, our bond that he couldn't pull me away from, and so he just reverted me back here. I guess this is what happens to the demons that go against his will when you revert back to our original form. And he gestures to all around him, and you get this feeling that the place where you're speaking to him might be inside the Bloodshard gem, the Acrylis shard that he was reverted back into. You feel like you're connected to the shard in some way, and this is how you're talking to him.
Interesting. There's some karma here. So not that I'm saying this to him, but it's interesting that so blood hungry for these shards and now he's trapped inside one.
Yeah, right.
So I kind of pat his ears, trying to keep away from his spot where his wings look like they were hurt or ripped out of, and be like, buddy, we're gonna get you out of here. Just hang on.
You see that he looks down. He goes, I was just trying to help the best way I could have helped without him noticing.
What do you mean? How did he find out?
I'm sorry for the chaos that was brought upon St. Lo.
That wasn't your fault.
You see that when you say that, he looks down again, and you see that like his ears flop down as if he's trying to put his tail between his legs. He goes, "Oh, that's the thing, Armos. Remember when Horatio had left and that vision that you saw when he was talking to Pharaohs and how he tricked the demon to leave?
Mm-hmm.
I helped him escape. And I passed blame on another demon. Not all demons want to live a life of slavery, and I thought if I could help take away his power source, that there could be a way to be free. And when I saw what he did to the demon that took my spot, well, I felt like that was way worse than being all powerful, great and mighty demon. And he coughs a little bit.
Whoa. Save your energy. Save your energy.
It's just like there's just nothing in here. It's so tight. It's so stale in here, and I gotta tell you, I mean, bloodshards do help, and the hay helps, and the hands do help. You know, at the end of the day, I'm still a bloodthirsty demon. You know, can't deny that. Can't shut away where you come from. You know, but you know, when Cristo found out, when he realized that Horatio had left, I quickly fell in line, and then he wreaked havoc, and Sandlow felt the consequences of that, because that's where he landed. Didn't know that's where he was gonna land. I didn't know Humbrea very much, and I guess I also feel bad for Minnis, because that it seems like, you know, important part of his heritage.
Yeah, I don't understand. You might have made some mistakes, but let's not dwell on it too much until we get you out of here.
Yeah, I know. Rebelling is new to me, Armos. You know, I didn't think I was gonna do it again until after I met you, and then, you know, you bounded me to a pact, and then sawing the role you play in rebuilding the bridge, I kind of got my rebelling thoughts back again. You know, I was thinking that maybe it's possible, but, you know, he's almost always watching, you know, through the gem, so I kind of had to keep up the facade for most of the time. But if I fade away in here, you just know that he looks away and he turns around, that I appreciate the three of you seeing me more as a team member rather than just another demon at times. And so we're clear, I totally cheated at Dragon Chess against Minnis, but don't tell him that.
I won't.
Alright, thanks, I appreciate that.
Armos is worried about Reginald and seeing his growth. He's definitely wants to. He was already wanting to help, but now it's now his like full on mission to make sure that he can try to fix whatever's going on here. Appreciate you telling me all this, and we're gonna get you out of here. Is there anything else you want to tell me?
Yeah, tell Sid it's ask him if he has any sevens, and then he'll understand what I'm talking about. And then you feel your grasp on the conversation slowly drift away. You feel like you come to, and you slowly awaken on top of your now cracked and damaged sloop. You look out to the water, where you see Captain Scarrow's galleon, and as you sit up, you see the galleon now split into two halves, as both halves are slowly sinking into the water. You look around at the wreckage, and you see Minnis floating, belly up in the water, as if he's asleep. But it looks like he's not floating on any driftwood. It looks like his invisible handcart that just happens to be bobbing in the water as that he's laying across. The handcart that always follows him around. And you look at the top of the bow of the sinking galleon, and you see Drell just waking up from his unconscious stupor. And as Drell wakes up, you see that he rubs his eyes, and then a giant rock bird that you saw earlier from days ago in the sea swoops down and picks him up as you hear Drell scream in the distance, being carried away in the opposite direction. Minnis. How you doing, Minnis? Minnis, you find yourself in a momentary lapse of reality as the loud tension from a few moments ago passes. It's quiet. The soft sound of jostling water fills your ears. With your eyes closed, you try to recall what just happened. One moment you were holding the Bloodshard device that you took from Captain Scarrow. You are now floating on something. Let's recap. You were talking with Captain Scarrow, calling a truce, and and a last ditch effort to gain some control, you went invisible and attempted to take the device from him in a surprise attack, and it worked. You had rolled a 24 strength check against his 4. No, give it back. Give it back. You don't understand the power that it holds. As Scarrow's on the floor and you have your foot on him.
And you don't understand the power that we now hold over you. This is our ship now.
Listen. Let's put it easy. That thing is very, very sensitive.
Sensitive? What do you mean?
It's just, you look at the device and it has all these buttons on it.
Oh.
Almost too many for the size of it, and all the buttons blend into the Bloodshard device, and it's clearly this goblin engineering built into it.
Oh, this is crazy. Did you make this?
Yes, I had some help with some additional tinkerers, and you see all the pirates around look very nervous.
What does this one do when I press one?
You press one of the buttons, but nothing happens. And you see that one of the pirates dropped dead. It's like, listen, give it back. How about we trade? I'll buy that device from you. See, there's a chest in my cabin you can have filled with gold and platinum, but something unexpected happens. Taking advantage of the moment, a sticky tongue from behind you lashes out and stuck itself onto the device. The large tongue came from the caged froghemoth. With its immense strength, the froghemoth grabbed and swallows up to the device, and Captain Scarrow now has a horrified look on his face. And he goes, no. Get down! And then before you can even finish that sentence, you look over at the froghemoth. The froghemoth's eyes go wide, and then boom! A large explosion from all angles. The froghemoth and the numerous things below on the ship explode as a large explosive strapped to them. You take, Minnis, you have taken 30 points of bludgeoning damage being so close, and an additional 15 points of fire damage as you land in the water. Armos, with your distance, you have taken 20 points of bludgeoning damage and 10 points of fire damage. Drell, you have taken 20 points of bludgeoning damage and 10 points of fire damage as well. Cut to the current moment. Armos, Minnis, your eyes open to the bright sun, your clothes wet from the ocean water. You sit up to the destruction laying upon the ocean. A destroyed, sinking galleon in a pool of red ocean water.
I spit up a bunch of water and Sid's doing CPR. How long was that out, Sid?
Their CPR is just them jumping in unison, in rhythm on your stomach, and they go me.
Oh, you can stop now. I'm up.
You see, you catch the last fleeting moments as the giant rock, the bird that picked up Drell, you hear Drell screaming in the distance as the rock is flying away.
Can't believe I've actually said this, but I've actually never flown before, so this is kind of cool, but at the same time, it also kind of sucks.
My bonus action, float. All right, Sid, come on. Let's get up out of the water.
Your handcart jostles as it regains its buoyancy.
My handcart?
Yeah, the handcart. You were floating on the handcart.
That's hilarious. Squadron number 2, take care of the cart. Everybody else with me.
Bunch of Sids salute you. And then as you get up, as you begin to float, you notice all in the water are dead pirates and various monster parts float all around you. Bobbing and waving in the water, you see the limbs of the Spicer Beast, giant bat wings, the third torso of a giant spider's body floating like as if it's the size of a small boat, waves of red water from the monster's blood, blown apart ghouls, griffin wings, and the tentacles of the froghemoth, all softly floating in the water. The dark red water is a combination of all the monsters that just exploded down below.
Armos, where are you, buddy?
Hey, over here.
Oh,
I'm waving.
I'm going to our ship.
Yeah, so Armos, you are on the sloop already. You got blown back onto the sloop.
Oh, he's already
the sloop is actually detached from the galleon at this point. You see that the hook is still in your ship towards the top side, so it is above water, but there's a heavy broken chain that's kind of making the sloop lean one way than the other. And there are crates, wood wreckage, and you see the two halves of the galleon slowly sinking down. And you see Captain Scarrow is like trying to climb up to the top of the bow, trying to stay above the water, but all the other pirates are dead. Minnis, what are you doing?
I float over to Armos just to get situated on our little sloop first.
You float over to the sloop, and you can see the sloop has taken a significant amount of damage. It's somehow floating. It will need to be tended to in order to stay afloat. And as you land on the sloop, you hear that familiar voice again. The sound of trees growing within your mind speaking to you. You hear the thing say, water, prepare, help, help.
Armos, I think the ship's talking to me.
Do I hear it, or is it just Minnis here?
You do not hear it. Minnis, only you hear it. And you scream out the ship, and he goes, not ship, tree, foliage, tree.
Okay, it's just a tree.
Minnis, you were just in a big explosion, buddy. You slow it down. You might be hearing things.
Look what you did! Are you happy now? Now nobody wins. Innocent crewmates, beasts of all kind. Do you know how much they were valued at? How much coin they could have filled our pockets if we just had a momentary lapse of truth? If we just allied for a moment, we wouldn't be here. And he's like climbing up.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening to anything after innocent. I don't think you know what that word means when you attacked us.
Yeah, you attacked us. You started this.
That's
you
the
didn't
opposite of
realize you were
innocent.
against
So,
some of the biggest, baddest people on the sea.
Sure, yeah, big bads. I puff my chest out.
Two wrongs do not make a right. And you see that one of his eyes is like bulging out of his head. He's like trying to reach for his loop, but he's desperately trying to stay on the wet ship. He's like having a hard time like holding on to one of the railings.
Yeah, but I didn't do it on purpose. Your wrong was on purpose.
It was that frog. You should have known that he would have done something. You should have known.
I've never seen a frog, big damn creature before. How was I supposed to know?
What do frogs do?
Frog?
Yeah, well, now we're all gonna be croaked. You think your little dinghy is going to survive these harsh waters?
Even when he's dying, he's pretty funny. Can I do a perception check on his ship to see if I can kind of see where my psychic link is coming from?
Yeah, go ahead and make me a perception check. And while you're at it, simultaneously make me a nature check. This is unwilling what's happening to you.
For the perception check, that's going to be I get advantage, but I don't think it matters. That's going to be a flaccid 20. And then for my nature check, my nature check, that's going to be a natural 20.
Oh
a
my
flaccid
God.
20, perking up to a natural 20.
Oh my lord! Oh, did you say a flaccid 20? Don't ever say that again. Don't ever say that again. That I feel violated for having to hear that.
What's wrong with me putting my flaccid 20 in your ear?
Oh my god. So with a natural 20 on your nature check, you hear the voice come again. And it goes, one with the earth, blown apart, soil, need soil. And you look at the two halves of the sinking ship, and you see amongst all the blown up monster bits, in the center, about 100 feet away from you, in the wreckage, you see the top half of looks like a wooden humanoid with branches coming out of the top of its head. Its face with no mouth, but two hollowed out eyes. You see that he looks very soggy. The wood looks very bloated with water, and he's like slowly trying to swim, but he's being it's very ineffective as he's trying to reach for something to try to stay afloat. Look what you've done! I mean, you know how long it took me to get this ship, the crewmates, and now you're gonna find my shard somewhere within the wreckage?
Yeah. Stay there and die or come on our ship. All right, buddy? You got nowhere else to go. And I jump over, I float over to the humanoid wood creature.
You jump in the water, and then you notice something swimming in front of you. A large fin. A shark's fin.
Good thing I'm floating.
As you're floating in the water, over the water, you notice below you is a shark's fin. Make me, and with your perception check, with your flaccid 20, you notice there are several fins It seems that the blood in the water had attracted some unfriendly faces, some unfriendly beings. As you see some of the body parts, the dead body parts, as you see sharks come out of the water.
In my mind, I say, "Hold on, I'm coming for you. Just hang tight." And I float over to the wooden humanoid.
I'm still yelling at the captain up on top. I'm like, quit trying to scapegoat us and trying to deflect your responsibility. Your lack of accountability and signs of manipulation are a really unhealthy dynamic.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Armos, quiet down. I'm trying to save this tree person. I can't focus.
I'm gonna come over there and I'm gonna board your ship and we will talk about this in a less dire situation. As you're looking at the sharks in the water and you begin to make your way over. Minnis, give me a stealth check as you try to not alert the sharks swimming in circles.
That is going to be a 28.
A 28. You safely navigate yourself off over these various shark fins. You navigate safely over and stealthily over to the wooden creature as you see that he extends his arm out. And as he extends his arm out, it grows longer and longer as if it's trying to meet you 10 feet up.
I grab hold.
And you feel that the wood is cracking as you go to pull, as the water has significantly damaged him, but you lift him up gently and you see that the torso of his body is completely blown apart from the chest down. You see one arm, his torso, and his other arm is like blown off. It's just like the stem of like a wooden branch coming from his body.
Do I see any of his other body parts in the water or just that?
Based off of how he looks like a construct to you.
Yeah.
And when you look at the other wooden wreckage blown off, even with a 20, you can't tell what part is him and what part is just from the ship.
Okay.
As it all just looks like soggy water. You don't hear him screaming in pain at all, but you can tell that like there is some discomfort. How he's talking to you in his mind, he's showing some discomfort, but he's not bleeding by any means.
Of course, talking in my mind. I got you, okay? Just hang on to my back. My SIDS will take care of us.
Thank you.
And,
One with the earth.
And as this pirate is like trying to figure his own way over, I'm just slowly floating with my SIDS back to the sloop.
You float past Captain Scarrow and you see Captain Scarrow is like jumping on boxes.
You're doing great.
Oh, I'm gonna be great, all right. And you
Wait,
see
don't jump on that one.
You see that it jostles and then like a fin comes up. He goes, okay. Nobody has to be shocked for you today.
I mean, I don't care about you, and I keep floating.
You do care. You do care about me. Despite all we've been through.
Shut up, and I keep floating.
And he jumps over. He manages to get on your sloop.
Before he gets over, I do go over to Armos. I'm like, Armos, A, I got a wood person. B, I think some of that. B, I think that some of that charming stuff has not worn off yet.
It ended a long time ago.
No, it's still there.
I'm just the cutest little halfling you've ever seen, so devious. And he gives you a smile, and the whiteness of his sharp-toothed grin just glistens.
So he's on our boat right now.
He's about to get on. You see that he gets off to the side of it. He grabs onto the giant steel chain that he had originally hooked your ship with, and he begins to climb up.
I go and I grab both his arms like really firmly so that he can't move. And be like, I believe it might be important for us to focus on solving this problem at hand together. And if you don't want to play nice, and then I kind of look behind him, indicating that I'll throw him off the ship if he doesn't cooperate.
Give me a strength check.
Oh, God. Okay, first off, I'm holding... How about a wimpy 7?
Compared, looks really strong and firm to his wimpy 3. And he goes, all right. Hey, listen, we're gonna work out this together. You don't need to be so brash. You have clearly bested me this day.
I saw him eviscerate a displacer beast with one shot of an eldritch blast. So yeah, just be careful with that guy.
Oh, we haven't even got mad yet, and my eyes start to slowly turn red.
You as you're like really close to him, this is like the first time you've really seen him up close. And give me a history check, Armos.
How about a real firm 15?
That'll be just enough as one who studies demonology and those who traverse the darkness of where demons walk. You look at his pale skin, his black tattoos that slowly move like ink, his red eyes. You realize that there's no eyeballs in those sockets. It's covered with complete red. Captain Scarrow is not alive in the traditional sense. You know that he's a revenant. And revenants are powerful beings that have come back to life, that have died once before, but have maintained their mortal coil. And they are essentially evil. You have never met a good revenant before, and they come in all shapes and sizes, but it's like an undead being that's retained its consciousness. It has control and has the power to become, has the ability to become more powerful.
Okay. I want to start pressing him about the wood person, and I indicate the wood person. I'm like, what is this? Explain.
He looks over at the damaged wood folk, we'll call him. He goes, well, I'm not really sure, but I figured he'd fetch some coin in our next sale. We haven't been able to speak to it. Looks like it's incapable of words. If you can tell just by glancing at him, he doesn't have a mouth. However, he seems to have some type of druidic powers of some kind with mixture of fire and fel.
Huh. And I look over.
Captured him and brought him aboard. Maybe somebody knew more of his kind.
I keep psychic linking to this tree folk. So, where do you come from?
And as Minnis is doing that, ask the pirate, where is he from? Where did you get him from?
Well, we captured him in South Trillis in one of the nearby wood. It looks like he was heading towards the shore, and where we just happened to be safely docked and resupplying, we saw him wandering around. And then you hear the voice within your mind, and although this is a psychic link, you feel that this is more forced upon you than anything, Minnis. And you feel like if you wanted to kick him out, you necessarily couldn't. Like, he had opened the connection, and you feel that he would need to close it if you wanted to stop talking to it. And what was the question you asked him?
Do you have a name? Where are you from?
I'm from the Riverwood Forest. I am a shard, a splinter of the great world tree. You may call me Rommel. Give me a history check if you remember what the great world tree is.
History 6.
You're not quite sure what he means when he says the great world tree. But you do know what Riverwood Forest is.
We've been to the Riverwood Forest. We fixed a tree, I think. I don't know if it's the same tree you're talking about, but we've been there.
The sacred tree had given me a second chance at redemption, granting me life from its roots. It has sent me on a mission.
A mission? Of what kind?
To see the condition of the world beyond the sea. To see how deep the corruption goes from corrupted ore blighting its land.
I mean, I can answer that for you right now. It's quite corrupted, and we're trying to stop it.
As I get the sense, and the tree understands this as well, but we wanted to see how far it goes and how wide it's spread. I've been on this journey for a better part of a year. And when he says the better part of a year, you know that about a year ago, you did save this tree. When you brought back from the shrine in the Riverwood Forest Temple. Yeah, the tree that came back to life when you restored its heart.
Well, Rommel, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm gonna ask you a few more questions if that's okay. And when you zoom out to Armos and Captain Scarrow, it's just me staring intently at the wood folk.
You're just like wide-eyed, not blinking.
Yes.
It's like looking at you. Me. Captain Scarrow chimes in. I know my marbles ain't all in the bag there, but I think you have bigger problems here. Mind letting me go? And looking at your friend who's just staring at a piece of wood.
Look, He expresses his feelings in his own way. He's doing some introspective work right now. We need to talk about you there, bud.
Fine, let's yab.
Back into me and Tree. So, is there anything you've learned about the corruption on your travels?
In the continent of Armor, we have learned that blood ore is seeped into its soil, that its corruption grows stronger and stronger. Despite the efforts of some who may have tried to cleanse the land, it seems that the ore runs deep. The sacred tree has informed me that this has happened several times, but does not know its capabilities. It has sent me to get this information.
Right, so maybe I can help you get back to the tree, or at least back to land.
I would appreciate that. Minnis.
How? Like, when you psychic link, does that just like, you auto get like all my profile information, or how's that work?
There's shallow thoughts that I receive.
Whoosh into my deep thoughts where I'm going, Minnis PebbleWalker, Minnis PebbleWalker, do, whoosh back out.
You see that as you allow him to delve deeper for just a moment, you see that his head begins to bob to the tune, and then he shakes his head and he goes, although respectful of one's thoughts, we are both attuned to nature as we worship the same goddess.
Melora.
You see that he nods his head, and almost you see this as he nods his head towards him.
And I nod with wide eyes.
The World Tree is expecting some type of ominous message from the blood-soaked stone soon. It seems that the blood-soaked ore gets its power from life and fear. Fear and sorrow. Make me a history check with a DC 20.
Another 6.
You don't recall anything when he says that, but the words fear and sorrow resonate with you, as if you're trying to remember like the name of something, and you feel like you knew this name forever, but it's been so long since you've said it out loud that it's at the tip of your tongue, but you just cannot remember what he means or what the connection is between fear and sorrow.
Whoosh. I back out and I look over. Okay, guys, stop. Hey, why are you glaring at each other?
And the fifth thing is seeking understanding, and this is involved asking questions and expressing genuine interest in the other person's. AKA,
this is worse.
This tree
I
person
wish
and Minnis,
that I've never been reborn within the darkness. My gruesome death was not worth this lecture.
Good. You can share more about the way you feel. I love it. We're making progress. Woo!
Have you guys been doing this the whole time?
Yes.
Yeah, I gave him the five step treatment. I think he's on his path to healing.
Oh, if you want more of the steps on other treatments that Armos has shared with me, I have it in my notebook. So if you ever want to brush up on him, Scarrow.
Thrilled. And you see that like the lifeless veins bulge under his pale skin.
Hey, look, before you get all upset, we want to make sure that we're both heard and understood.
I acknowledge your feelings, Scarrow.
Captain Scarrow is going to take 10 psychic damage from being absolutely flustered by this conversation. Do you think that we could leave the shark-infested waters?
We'll be fine. Armos, fear and sorrow, ring a bell?
I mean, I do all those things. What do you mean?
Out of context, you just say fear and sorrow and like, oh, yeah, I'm aware of those things. Two of my favorite things. Can't even make a check against that with no context.
And then I explain, obviously. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
Actually, does sevens mean anything to you? And I point to Sid's.
You see that Rommel reaches out to you again, Minnis, and he goes, perhaps let me try. And the one arm that Rommel still has, he reaches out and extends it to Armos, and you see that flowers begin to blossom, or like branches begin to blossom from his palm, from his wooden palm, as it reaches out to Armos.
Ooh, okay. Are they like? I can't detach him from him. That's rude.
No, they look like vines, and he looks like he's trying to shake your hand.
Oh,
but the vines are like growing from his hand.
Gotcha. I take both my hands and go to the stiff part of his like arm and shake that piece as opposed to the branches because I don't want to break a stick.
So as you shake his hand, you notice that you feel a slight pinch, like a thorn in your, like thorns in your hand, as the branches softly pierce themselves into your hand, and it stings like You gotta take 1 point of piercing damage here.
Okay, what's half of 1?
0. Congratulations, you take nothing, but it's really
No, you
annoying.
still take 1.
Oh, you still take 1, yeah. You take 1 point of piercing damage as you feel for a moment as if like you feel the roots moving within your hand and then slowly disappear from under your skin. Like you felt like you could see it move underneath your skin and then disappears. And then your head begins to fill with all these thoughts, and you hear the twisting and turning of branches and vines crumpling up together and softly expanding. And then you hear Rommel's voice. He goes, "Sorry for the discomfort."
Yeah. I don't like this at all.
And you respond to him through your mind. You don't say that out loud.
No, I say it out loud.
Yeah, I was purposely doing it in my head.
This could be an easier way to speak, but I refuse to speak with the slave owner. And he looks at Captain Scarrow.
In my head, I say, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yep. You're on step 4, setting boundaries. I totally respect that.
He fills you in with what he told Minnis. His name, where he comes from. He mentions Riverwood Forest. He mentions the sacred world tree that you cleansed, and that he's about a year old, and that the reason why he's traveling is he was gifted a second chance at redemption for an unknown reason.
So I basically got caught up with everything. Is what he's.
Yes, he gave you an abridged version of that.
Cool.
And he goes,
So fear and sorrow.
All right. And I still don't understand what fear and sorrow is. Where did that come from?
give me a history check of a DC 20.
You ready for this? 23.
Oh, yes.
Really? What he explains, blood or you hear all these keywords: blood or veins, blood shards, corrupted earth, plight, corruption of the earth, and then he says fear and sorrow. He's saying keywords. His speech is very abrupt, as he's not having full sentences like you normally would in a normal conversation. And he says fear and sorrow, and then with a 23, you think back, fear and sorrow, blood or veins. What does the two have to do with each other? Then you think back to your event when you summoned Reginald by mistake, and all the tieflings that were in the room that were helping you summon what you thought were what you were summoning, when really you were summoning a demon, not getting Layla back as when you were tricked, was the fear within all of their hearts all around you, because they thought that they were going to die. The sorrow of death, and as the room filled with blood, as the tieflings saw their friends and family get butchered in front of you, you then recall back to Bushwick in the town of Gilo, when you had attended a service for Barry Weinstead when he had suddenly went missing, and Minnis mentioning that a small portal where a massive demon arm had come and claimed Bushwick for his own, and he had disappeared and nobody else has seen this. And then you recall that there was an immense amount of sorrow in the room, that they were all grieving the loss of Barry Weinstead, a beloved friend of the town, somebody who was very popular. And with the grieving of the town, you think that somewhere nearby is a large source of blood or veins, similar to the one in the cave where you fought the green dragon, similar to the one where you saw all the rust bugs in the blueberry mines in the Lucius Farms. This large source of power. You think that there was one nearby in the town of Gilo, and because of the immense sorrow that there was felt for Barry, managed to summon with just enough power to open a rift to Bayloon that took Bushwick.
Wow. Okay. I need to process that for a second.
And after talking for 5 minutes, pan over to Scarrow as we are just wide-eyed looking at the tree folk.
Captain Scarrow has no idea what's going on in the conversation, and you see Minnis, you're like looking at him and he's like trying to touch stuff, and you're like, don't touch that.
All right. Saw that.
I don't want to burst anyone's bubble, as you seem to also be down a crewmate. However, the ship looks like it's taking on some water, and we should probably get that tended to. Also, sharks!
Yeah. Okay, all right, I'm going down, and you can help me with that, okay, Scarrow? Armos, you keep talking to the tree folk, and I go down with Scarrow.
You see that Scarrow follows you into the lower depths of the ship. You get to the lowest deck, and you see that there's a little bit of water. It's about up to your knees. You're both really small, so it's not a lot of water when it's up to your knees, but you're the same height. And you begin to bail some water. Almost with that information that you're processing, what are you doing?
So that was saying that there was when he's saying fear and sorrow, is he describing that there's one near us right now, or is it just in back then is how that got created?
So basically what he told you is that the blood or veins are powered through victims.
Yeah.
And then the fear and sorrow of nearby entities.
Gotcha.
So that it's reacting based off like what's going on around it. And with a 23, when he was like making all these keywords, so remember, you have like a psychic connection with this thing, and it's triggering memories like like an aha moment, like a light bulb is going on, because the Bushwick happened so long ago.
Yeah.
Episode 2, if you don't remember, session 2. So it happened so long ago, but the fact that he's filling you in and his mission and how he's in tune with the earth and how you're receiving this, it's like connecting things that you wouldn't normally connect together, like a crazy conspiracy red string theory. And with your, because you have suffered amnesia, you have studied blood shards in your past. When you tried to get back Layla, when you were on your blood crazed quest for revenge, you studied blood shards, and this is like some information that was like that you knew but never knew what to do with.
Yeah.
And that's how you made that connection.
Okay. So that's cool. Pretty awesome. Like it. But what does he need right now? Like, is there, like, he said that he needed to be planted? Like, what's the...
Soil. Need soil. Need to regrow.
Okay. So we just need to get him to shore.
Land would help.
Okay. Well, we'll get you all the soil you need, but first, and I motion around. We gotta get there first. Plant yourself right over there.
He doesn't laugh. He's just like laying there. His torso's just like laying on like some hemp rope where you like placed him. Just staring at you.
Okay. And then we'll be leafing out of here in no time.
You hear from below deck? Like real muffled.
So the boat is currently taking on water. We got sharks all around us. Drell's off on some rock.
Ah! You hear the light flapping in the distance as Drell is like still screaming.
All right, which way did Drell get taken? Like,
I can't believe I've actually said this, but I've actually never flown before, so this is kind of cool, but at the same time, it also kind of sucks.
You see that he was taken like southwest, back the way you came. You know that
southwest.
You recall where the rock's nest was. You think it'll set you back a little bit. However, it's not too far away. You did mark it down on your map when you were navigating through it. While you were sailing, Minnis had taken some great notes of anything that he saw on the sea, because there wasn't much to see on the sea. And you go down to check on Minnis and Scarrow, and you see that Captain Scarrow had jumped Minnis. He goes, listen here, I am not going to be ridiculed by you. And he's like trying to grapple you. Give me a contested strength check, Minnis.
Can I go invisible as I do that?
Yeah, as a reaction, yeah, absolutely.
We talked about this. This is step 2. Suggest a different approach. You're doing the same thing. You're falling into old tendencies.
Athletics or a strength check?
Strength check. He's trying to wrestle you, and you like turn your back for like half a second, and he tried to jump on you.
Another flaccid 20.
Oh my God, he got an 8. And you see that he's clearly losing to nothing. Armos, you come down and you see Scarrow struggling in the shallow water as Minnis is strangling him while he's invisible.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
I will not be
Stop hitting
ridiculed by
yourself.
this. And you see
Wait.
that he like takes a dagger, he's like attacking where you clearly aren't. I will spill your blood on your own ship like you've done to me.
Armos. And I go uninvisible. This guy's doing bad stuff to me. Sounded like Miranor there.
I use my thaumaturgy and say enough.
Intimidation check.
Oh, here we go. Where is it? Hell yeah. A 24.
Oh my God. He's rolling like ass. He got a 14. He rolled a 9 and he got 13 actually. He goes, all right. 2 against 1. It's not a fair fight. I'll back off.
Okay,
He drops dagger in the water.
we just talked about step 3, collaborating. Identify the root cause of these issues and work together to find solutions. What do you think we're doing right now?
I don't want you here any more than you want to be here. And I pick up the dagger and put it in like my belt. Okay, let's just work together for now and then we can just go our separate ways, all right?
Most people give 3 demerits before they are through with someone. You're on 2. You're on 1 already, bud. And if you go to 2, I'm telling you, I'm sending you off to these sharks. So,
Oh, gosh.
And
Your
my eyes
consistent
I'm still,
ramblings. I feel like the sharks would be a better fate than whatever this is.
Listen to him, Scarrow. You don't want to get into sagellation.
Look here, you could have been with the sharks already. You were over in your boat. You came to us asking for help. You climbed onto our ship. You are begging for our help, and yet you're being very unruly about it.
You hear the waves crashing in the background as one of the halves of the ship completely submerges. Perhaps you have a point.
Remember, you're supposed to go down with your ship? There it is. So here's your choice: your ship or ours.
Well, it was more of my father's ship.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my God, this guy with his technicalities.
Here, there's a hole over there. Go patch it up. And I like to think we spend a very awkward 30 minutes of silence, like patching up a bunch of holes and doing work on the sloop.
A good amount of time passes by, and you begin to patch the holes, and you bail some of the water, and you see after Captain Scarrow had just tried to jump you, like you now have like an eye on him at all times, but he seems to be complacent. And when you get to the top of the ship, you notice that Rommel had done something to the top of it. You see that he's kind of molded into the wood of the ship. And you see that the banisters of the ship now have like these grassy roots spiraling through them. And that the wood, the cracked wood around the harpoon, which is causing your ship to lean, is slowly moving. And it looks like he's making the wood almost reject the harpoon, and like he's bending and twisting and contorting the wood out of the way to make the harpoon loosen. And after some time, this is a slow process, you hear whoosh, splashes, and then you see that the wood that he is controlling, he is shaping earth around the broken wood and kind of constructing it. And you can see that the wood patches are significantly darker, that matches more of his body tone to the white planks on the ship, and you can see where the pieces of him and the pieces of the boat have melded together.
Whatever I'm repairing at the time, I start to notice this, and I'm like, all right, this isn't soil. What's going on here? You trying to help, or
Assistance.
is this you? And I bang the side of the boat. Are you okay?
I am fine. Assistance was needed, so I gave what I could. Melding of wood, melding of earth. The boat and I are connected.
Like, are we gonna have to plant the ship because are just you, or I don't know how this works. It's too you know what?
I could remove myself
okay.
when soil is found.
Okay. Just making sure, just technicalities in there. Just want to be clear on our mission. All right, Armos is up on the deck of the ship, hands on his hips, almost in a superhero pose, feeling confident that things are working out. And then all of a sudden, he hears the caw of the bird snapping him back to light or to real world. That we have another issue on our hands.
All right.
You see the Sid that's a really big fan of Drell, like really sad, like with his
Sid of
chiseled
the
jaw.
Ashbourne.
He has a very chiseled jaw that he's done. He shaped it to himself. He goes, "Meh, meh," gesturing to the open sea.
Yes, we will find Drell. It'll be fine. Sid of the Ashbourne, okay? We will see him again, I promise.
He turns around. You see there's like a tattoo of you see that there's like a little chalk drawing of an axe on his back.
Yeah. He takes off his beard in sadness as he walks away. So, and I'm manning the helm and steering it towards Drell's direction. I'm again awkwardly kind of talking to Scarrow. Scarrow, what are you exactly?
Before you talk to him, and as you sail out of the wreckage, is there anything in the wreckage you would like to do? Anything you would like to take
in
note
his
of?
wreckage?
In the galleon's wreckage, because there's like a lot of crates and stuff. There are sharks swimming around eating the dead body parts.
Scarrow, anything of use over there in those crates?
Let me see. There should be a chest or two.
Yeah, you have your chest that was in your quarters.
Yes, but I don't know if I want it to be in your hands. As he looks over, go ahead and give me a perception check. Minnis, you can do it as well.
Sure.
Please do, because... Oh, just kidding. I got a rock hard 17.
A stiff 17.
A firm 17. That is that angles on that 7 are the most anglest 7 you've ever seen.
I would like to apologize to our audience for this episode.
I don't. We're learning lots, okay?
I'm the one that makes the phallic jokes over here, and all of a sudden Dan has to take my spotlight.
There's already been tentacles in this episode. I just want to point out for everybody, okay? First
There's
off.
a difference between implied phallic jokes and peen in the wind.
Oh my god, that was literally like 100 sessions ago.
I'm never gonna let it go. I'm never gonna let it go.
That was like 100 sessions ago if I could drop it.
All right, I got a 11.
11. With your 17, you see that there's this ornate chest in the middle of the wreckage in the blood red water, and you do see a couple of shark fins. And you see that every couple of moments, when there's like a body part or a dead pirate floating by, he's like, whoosh, you see this giant shark come out of the water, snatch up one of the limbs, and continue to swim around as they're feasting, and it's in like almost in the middle.
All right, I'll go
School
try and grab
sharks.
it. Armos, you watch Scarrow, okay? Make sure it doesn't do anything. Just don't let him do anything.
It's fine.
Like-
I'm just gonna wait till you fall asleep.
What?
What?
What'd you say?
Huh?
As I'm walking away. And I use my SIDS to float, and my SIDS turn into these rocky wings as I glide over.
Yeah, you float over. Go ahead and make me a stealth check.
An unnatural 30.
Okay.
Even without the bandana, I'm still sneaky.
These sharks don't notice a thing. These sharks don't notice anything, and you see that they're perfectly content eating the body parts that are floating in the water, and they're just munching away. And then you slowly hover over the chest. You go to pick it up. And as you go to pick it up, it's a snap, and it goes to snap on the chest, and you see the mouth of a shark gripping on as the wood begins to creak and almost succumb to the shark bite. It wiggles, and as you're pulling the shark out of the water, it lets go. And this shark had like a lot of scars on it, stripes. It was like missing an eye. It looks like a battle-worn shark. It swims away, and it grabs another body part. And then you float on back. You drop the chest onto the deck of the sloop.
That went perfectly fine. And I put a shaky thumb up. I just immediately open it.
You just open it right there.
Yeah.
Inside, you see that there's piles of gold with some platinum scattered around it. Go ahead and roll me 100 D100s.
The fuck?
100 D100s.
Yes.
I'm gonna roll 50. You roll 50 more.
Clicking on.
Wait, you want me to roll 50 D100s?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll roll the other 50. Oh, my screen!
All right.
2,489.
Wah! That's so many. Oh, this is cool. So 2,632.
So the total of your combined roll was 5,121 for a total of 51,210 gold pieces. Somebody roll me one D100.
Armos.
21.
21 platinum coins. On top of the gold pile, there is a rapier and a breastplate, specifically a breastplate, which is its own armor type. It's between half plate and like full plate. There is a breastplate. You examine the breastplate, and it's made out of adamantium. And you see Scarrow as you pick up the rapier. It looks very ornate. It looks elvish in design, but it has some sigils on it. Almost you instantly recognize these sigils, that they closely resemble to those of flames.
I recognize flames.
Go ahead and make me an
What's that
Arcana
mean?
check to see what this weapon instantly is. Go ahead and make it with advantage.
Yay. I mean, I think I got on the first one, but just in case, 26.
26. This is a flame tongue rapier.
Flame tongue rapier.
Oh.
Specifically, +2. So flame tongue is the weapon that you would add to your inventory if you wanted to use it. And it is a rapier.
Oh my gosh. Armos, can I keep it?
Hang on, let me see. And I take it and I throw it up in the air. If you can catch it.
And you see that Scarrow's like pulling his hair out as you throw up the rapier.
Because I'm floating, I float up to meet it at its highest point.
Yeah. And then snap a picture. He looks like Mario just like getting a big mushroom all of a sudden.
My friends are gonna come and rescue me any moment now.
So we split this money 2 ways. No. Of course not. Oh, wait, Drell. I think it's time to go save our friend.
Yeah, I can really tell that you got your priorities straight. Yeah, and I'm the insane one. Captain Scarrow chimes in.
Oh, where were we? I take the helm and steer towards Drell's direction. Armos, maybe you could use the I don't know if Drell has it on him, but maybe you could use the talkie-torchies or something. If he's okay. I don't know if it's in range though.
Okay. Let me I look at my bag. Not let's see. Nope. Signet ring, no. Potion of clairvoyance. Oh, here it is. Found it. And I light the torch.
You light the torch and you speak through it, and then it quickly gets snuffed out as you hear Joe go, shh.
Are those sleeping birds? And I turn off the talkie-torchy. I shake it so it just goes out.
What's that? Wait, I didn't quite get that. Are you trying to? I think we got some static.
Oh, it turned off, Armos. You're talking to nothing.
Dang it. All right. He might be in trouble.
Yeah. Usually a shush means not good things.
Double him back towards the rock where we saw the rock.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before we make it there, can I just have some awkward conversation with Scarrow?
Please do.
Absolutely.
As the breeze slowly goes through my hair, silence for a little bit. So it's probably gonna be a while till we get there. You comfy? You need a drink or something?
I'm going to slice your throat at my earliest convenience.
Yep. Right. It's like, what are you exactly? I know you're a halfling, but you don't look like most halflings.
Yeah, well, I was reborn in a way I wish. Well, I wasn't reborn. You see, I was claimed by the sea once, and as I was being dragged to the depths of Davy Jones' locker, I've suffered a fate I would wish upon no member of the sea. You see that Captain Scarrow's red eyes slowly glow blue as he reminisces of the death that he had witnessed many, many years ago as he stares out into the sea.
Oh, she got like some unfinished business, huh?
In a sense of... But my business is revenge, and the way I make money is by capturing monsters, then selling them to rich men, and in hopes that the monsters rip out their hearts and feast upon their weak flesh, because beyond their coin, it's much more valuable in my pocket than theirs. Well, yes, I have some unfinished business.
Armos.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been forcibly drowned by your own father? Felt like you could never live up to his name, as the immense pressure from his name and prowess and his reverence and respect on the sea just snuffs out anything you try to do or achieve in life, that no matter how hard you try to live up to his name, it's just casted aside as if you were nothing? Do you know what that feels like?
Oh my god, this is me if I turned evil. Yeah, I kind of do, symbolically speaking. My dad, same thing, actually. Almost word for word, which is spooky.
Oh, he also drowned you in a sacrificial pool of those devoted to the Lord Kraken below?
Symbolically speaking, yes. Actually, no.
You see his eyes turn back to being red as he looks at you.
Armos, I don't know about you, but I feel like someone on this boat is using years of money and capturing monsters as a way of avoiding his real problems. And I look over at Scarrow.
He also seems to be doing a lot of projecting his feelings onto other people. Maybe he feels undervalued or fairly untreated.
Well, you can't put the blame all on me. And you see his eyes turn blue as he looks at you, Minnis. And like, he's leaning forward with his forehead. He goes, you can't just assume because you just met me. Yes, we fought as those who sail the Evertonne Sea often do, such as the way of pirates. You see, it's a way of life, and how did I know you weren't going to attack me? I merely took the initiative, but now we seem to be crewmates, and perhaps we can be friends? Give me a charisma saving throw as he's trying to cast Strong Person.
I was about to say,
Yeah, of course. I'm so bad at this, too. It's a 12.
this is the wrong way to express your feelings. He's casting a spell.
Almost, I think we can be friends.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's a 19 to save, and you are
What? Holy crap.
charmed by
Almost.
him.
Almost, we should be friends with him. We could take him
my
around
God.
the world with us. He could fight side by side.
I
And if we-
firebolt Minnis.
If we did. You did it again, you son of a bitch!
You tackle each other as the boat jostles. Of course, for
Armos
a
has to
moment.
take the helm because we fight on the way.
Then you notice a large shift in the water when Armos takes the wheel, and it almost knocks the three of you over.
Wait, truce. And my hand's on his neck and his hand is on a dagger.
Yeah, truce. Oh no, I was just talking about my past. You just can't seem to keep your hands off me.
Hold on. We'll pick this back up later.
You look over to the side of the ship, and just submerging into the water is a tail fin. Is a shark's fin, the dorsal fin, going back underneath the water. Make me a perception check with DC 15 as you are looking to see what's around you.
Okay, listen, guys.
Both
I
of
may
us?
have seen a very war-torn shark in the water earlier, and I forgot to mention it because of all the gold, but we might be in trouble as I get a 6.
I get a 6.
You're looking over the side of the water with a failed perception check. Both of you roll me a D20. Tell me who gets lower.
I got 9.
I got a 4.
Armos, you lean over the side of the ship where you saw the dorsal fin go down, and then you feel the bubbling of water below you where you just saw the shark go down, but you don't see any shark. As a matter of fact, you just see this growing darkness coming towards you, getting wider and wider, and then the giant darkness is now suddenly enshrouded and engulfed with rows of teeth as a giant megalodon comes up off the side of your ship. Make me a dexterity saving throw of a DC 12 as a large shark goes to try to take a bite out of you.
16.
You pass as you get out of the way, as you fall back by its surprise, as a giant shark had attempted to attack you. It is a huge beast. Everybody roll me initiative.
I don't want to be fish food.
16.
23.
You see this giant megalodon now circling your ship. It looks like you see the spears and arrows sticking out of its back from former components, former combatants that tried to take down this shark. It is huge. It is circling you and is trying to bump into your ship. On initiative 23, we're going to start with you, Minnis. What are you doing?
It is right next to us.
Yeah, it's sailing around your ship. It's going so fast that it's circling you. And you can see the top of its back.
I'm gonna look at Scarrow and go, try and keep up, as I use a Nature's Veil as a bonus action. And then I'm gonna start attacking the shark with my sling.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a hit.
The first one is a 20.
Hits.
And the second one is a 30.
Hits.
And I'm going to hit it with 17 points of sling damage. And then my SIDS and the favorite foe are going to do an extra 12 points of damage.
Oh, wow. You see that the shark like shakes from pain as your sling bullets break its skin. And you see that it begins to bleed a little bit into the water, but it just seems to get more angry.
And then I'm holding fast and ending my turn.
We're gonna move to initiative 16, Armos.
I'm gonna cast Hold Monster.
What
is that?
Absolutely.
You choose
Hold
a creature
monster.
within range. The target must make a Wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for the duration. The spell has no effect on undead. At the end of its turn, the target can make another Wisdom saving throw. On a success, the spell ends on the target.
How are you casting that? Is that from the Staff of Power?
The staff, yeah.
Wow.
I have no spells. Yeah. It's 5 charges. I'm down to 11 after this.
What does it need to make?
18 Wisdom saving throw.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Wow.
When he failed with a 14 as you see a sudden stop from the shark. Stop in place as the water crashes around his body. As you see that it's now stuck in place, it is paralyzed.
All right.
As it slowly drifts forward from the current of the water.
All right, so that's a concentration for a minute. Well, every turn it can try, but yeah. Okay. So that'll be my turn.
We're going to move to initiative 13, which is the shark. It's going to go ahead and use its turn to make another saving throw to try to break free. It fails with an 8. We're going to move to initiative 10, which is Captain Scarrow. And he goes, I mean, I have better ways of disposing this, but it seems like the two of you got this under control. And you see that he like goes down to the lower part. He's like in the mid deck and he's like going over to his chest and he's like looking at the piles of gold. And you see that he starts pocketing some of it. He puts a bunch in his pockets and that's going to be his turn. It's like, I can't give you all the gold. You're just robbing me. You're just robbing me. Minus 100 gold from the top of that pile as he's like stuffing his pockets.
Oh no.
We're gonna go back to initiative 23, Minnis.
My goodness, Armos. That new staff is crazy. So I'm gonna bonus action float with my SIDS.
Okay.
I'm gonna get within 5 feet of the shark, and I'm going to cast a 4th level guiding bolt,
Sure. 4th level. Ooh.
which is an automatic crit because I am within 5 feet of the monster since it is held.
Yes, it is. It's an automatic. Yep. Yes, it is.
I still need to roll to attack it though, right?
Yes. Yeah, you would get advantage though because it's paralyzed.
Yeah. 18.
Hits.
As it is going to take 53 points of radiant damage.
Ow.
Armos, you are. This whole monster spell is wild.
You hold him in, as he's being held in place. You come down with a 4th level guiding bolt and you slam this ball of light onto the top of its head.
Assemble! And it creates a meteor storm of radiant SIDS.
As this giant ball of radiant SIDS smash into the dome of this giant shark and dead as you now leave a dent and you see that the hold monster spell fades and the giant shark goes belly up.
I float back onto the ship and dap up Armos for using that awesome spell. That was amazing. Secret handshake.
You see Scarrow puts another 50 gold coins, take away another 50 coins from the top of that pot, puts it in his pocket. He's like, wow, you guys, look how talented you are working together. Wow, you're like the dream team. No wonder we had such issues.
All right, back on lookout, sir.
Of course, yes, I'm looking out at these gold coins, too. He takes a platinum and walks away.
What? Absolutely not. Wait a minute.
Oh, what are you going to do about it, staff boy? You want to waste some of your charges? I know how that staff works. I know how it works. You hear Rommel speak in your head almost. Can we throw him overboard?
Oh, we could definitely throw... and I go into my mind, we could definitely do that if it comes down to it. We'll figure it out. He seems like one of those undead things that'll be fine.
As you see, like, Rommel, his head, now he's like kind of becoming one with the ship almost, and he like nods to you.
I go to, I walk up to him and I grab him by I guess I lift him off the ground because he's so short.
Sure.
And I was like, you're going to put that back and, or else we're going to have troubles. And,
Armos, it's
Or
not
else
worth
what?
it.
You're gonna kill me? Sorry, I've already been there.
as I am threatening him, I hex him, which doesn't do any damage.
Ooh,
But if I do hit him, it will do damage.
that's
He
hilarious.
goes, fine, I'll behave for now. And he fixes his collar, and he looks out into the water. He flips the platinum coin in hand.
I take
He's
the
still-
helm again and keep on navigating.
As the two of you sail closer to the rock,
Dude, can we... Are we like taking like we're rested at some point?
you are not resting.
Okay.
You need to
We gotta get to
actively
Drell,
rest. You are
Armos. No time
sailing the
for
ship.
rest.
You got Minnis manning the helm, and you got Armos navigating the sails while keeping an eye on Scarrow. You are far from resting right now.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
You also have these roots growing inside of you to speak to this wood woad. So things are pretty crazy right now. And
Yeah.
as the two of you sail, you see the talkie-torchy go on from the two of you.
Whoa.
And you hear in a whispery voice, and then yells on your end, Minnis, and then almost your torch repeats what Minnis' torch says, and then Minnis' torch repeats what Armos' torch had, and they're doing call of response to each other because the talkie torches have response to their own. I think they're asleep. I think they're asleep. I think they're asleep. There are birds everywhere. There's baby birds. Baby birds all around the nest. Baby birds all around the nest. I think they're sleeping. I think they're sleeping. I think they're sleeping. I think they're sleeping.
All right. Drell, we're almost there.
You hear it snuffs out as you hear it yell, and you hear the chirp of a baby bird,
Oh.
almost as if one is waking up, and that is where we're going to end this week's session. I forgot that. I don't know where the Gilbert Godfrey voice came from,
right?
but
That's what I was laughing about. I was looking up the because I was like, God, I know it's Gilbert something. I couldn't remember his last name.
you want to hear a joke called the aristocrat stuff.
Okay, so man, that was good.
Good session. We got to save Drell. Good session.
Oh, that was a hilarious session.
Some of
But
our
we
best
need
work.
we need to talk on a more somber note because you also learned some stuff, Armos.
Yeah.
And you too, Minnis, from Rommel, who is, by the way, our Patreon, a Patreon supporter. I bet you didn't see that one coming.
Surprise.
I did.
No, you didn't.
I don't know if Armos did. I did.
You did not.
I did not.
When I put
I
him
knew that
there
was
5
Rommel.
sessions ago with the tree and the cat, you didn't think I'd put him down there.
I didn't know he was going to be here, but the second you talked about the tree, I was like, oh.
But pretty cool.
Happy to have you, Rommel.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, thank you for supporting. He's been one that's been waiting for a while, but I'm
I
like,
was
ooh,
gonna
this
say,
is perfect.
Yeah. I hope that whenever the time comes when we get everyone in, that it really like pays off. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why, we had like closed off new Patreon NPCs for the main campaign because every Patreon NPC does contribute to the story in a positive way. and definitely moves the story forward in some way.
Positive way. This
Yeah, I was
guy
gonna
tried to
say-
stab me.
I had to teach him the 5, the 5-step program. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he's showing Armos how to be good in a world where he was typically evil and selfish. Now look at him. He's starting an outreach program. That's character growth for Scarrow. I mean, I don't know. He's helping you. Character growth.
All right. I want to talk more about it, but we'll have to do it in our after show.
Yes, we'll talk more about it on the after show. And for those that have caught on, Alec was actually not here today to play. He got called away for some business, and he was not able to record today's session, which is why the Rock had picked him up and carried him away. However, he was here in spirit.
Yep.
He was here in spirit.
Yep. So if you do hear parts of his thing, like dialogue and things like that, it's actually going to be recorded after the show, and we're just going to splice them in. It was, the show must go on. We want to make sure that we give you guys an episode every week, so it's a lot of work.
Outside of his lines, though, all actual play. Still,
yes.
Us, me and Jared doing our thing.
Yeah,
being silly.
absolutely.
Yeah, just to give you some light beyond the curtain, beyond the veil that we place in front of you. We all had planned to record today, and it was like a last minute thing where Alec couldn't make it for something serious. We won't go into too much detail about it, but he's super important in his world with what he's doing. So sometimes life calls.
Just wanted to make sure that we were pretty clear with everybody. We strive to make sure that we give you guys an episode, and much to Tony's credit, he was able to kind of last minute change everything that we were about to do this episode to
I session
accommodate
prepped
it,
so much. so much.
just to show the dedication that we have to you guys, we just wanted to also be pretty crystal clear as well. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Any recommendations?
Yeah, I got one actually.
All right, perfect.
It's not necessarily new. Hold on, I'm just looking up the year it came out.
2005.
No, it's 2016. Okay, so so my daughter, she's a little bit older. She's about to be 3. She's gonna be 3 this month from the time when this is released. And we have been exploring new animated movies to watch. And now that she's getting older, different movies capture her attention rather than just like Minnie Mouse and stuff. I watched the movie Storks for the first time.
Storks.
That movie is it is hilarious. Like
Somehow amazing.
like there's like one scene with like 2 wolves meet like
The wolves.
Yeah. So the movie's about how like babies are born and like storks deliver them. And there's like a wolf scene because the storks they get caught like the wolf den, and it's like you've definitely seen this GIF.
This cast? Holy
Dude.
Holy
Yeah,
crap.
dude.
Andy Samberg, Jordan Peele, Kelsey Grammer, Jennifer Aniston, Keegan Michael Key. What in the hell?
This movie had me on the floor rolling.
Dude, Aquafina is also in it? What in the hell?
Have you guys seen this movie?
No.
Dan, have you seen? Dude,
I saw it on a flight.
here's the best way I can describe that movie. I wrote a script for Dan, and then Dan voice acted everything. like I wrote a story, and then Dan's comedic timing is like that's what the movie's about. Like that's not like how funny this movie is. It's oh my god, it's like one of my favorite animated movies. I can't believe I slept on it. If you have kids or just like animated movies, watch Storks. It's so funny.
That's such a fun oddball recommendation because most people would not recommend that if they haven't taken the time.
Yeah.
Surprisingly good, that movie. Surprisingly good.
Crazy.
Just the wolves alone kind of make most of the movie. Like wolves form of minivan. Like what?
Too good.
But yeah, that's my recommendation. We're gonna go ahead and move on. Unless anybody got anything else to say, go on to the Patreon supporters.
Send us away.
All right.
The
Let's get
Patreon supporters.
firm goodbyes, everybody.
Bye.
A flaccid goodbye.
Yo,
Bye.
unyielding laters.
Dear patrons, I'm writing you today to say thank you for your love and support. You are my bestest friends in the world, and as a token of my appreciation, I have shipped you each a small gift or two. Send Aotetera my kind regards when he delivers them. And don't tell Lord Baron I found his secret stash of magic envelopes. Anyway, let's begin with the Shadow Smugglers. Sir, Mr. Nightman the Dread, I know we didn't get along very well back in the Kimbuki Isles. Also, I don't know if you made it out alive. If you were alive to begin with. But if you did, please accept this epic painting of you fighting a gnoll next to Drell. It was my first time using water cantrips, so please don't judge too hard. Hopefully the FFCS magic locates you. Alara Dawnstar, I have crafted you a magical score tracker for the next time we play cards again. The artificers at Lord Baron's Divider did most of the tinkering, but the design was all me. I hope you like the carvings on the wood. I tried my best to mimic the designs on your mask. I'm training hard, so next time you won't beat me so easily. Mr. Reese, I have read up on common journalism practices after meeting you and even got some great notes from my girlfriend, my friend Numi. To atone for my note-ripping misdeeds, I have included a new set of quills, one of Numi's finest notebooks, and 50 parchment pads that when you run your thumb over the edges, it looks like Anma squashing a raptor. I call it a flap book, because it sounds like the flapping of a buzzard bird. Julius Kendrick. I'm writing to inform you that the next time we see you, we will capture you and bring you to justice. In this box are all the broken bits of the mace I stole from you as proof of how serious I am. I broke it myself to send a message, and definitely not because I accidentally zapped it into evil magic. Next are the Bloodshard Bandits. Whether we like it or not, we've heard tell that people all across Umbrea are taking on our name. Some to perform good deeds, but some to cause mischief and besmirch our names. First is Morgan Ulthil. I hope your fox likes biscuits, because I have my mom make up 24 of them. You need your energy when you're out fighting evil, so eat up. For you, she made some Minotaur energy balls. It's got oats, cashew butter, honey, and chocolate shavings mixed in. Artemis, I really enjoyed our birthday bash last time I saw you, and I hope we can have more in the future. To thank you for protecting Kemi Joe during your travels, I have sent you a special brew that should help you even more. Please don't tell Drell. He gave it to me as a gift, but I already have resistance to normal damage type, so, yeah. Tanner Smith, I don't really know what you like yet, but I heard you have made a name for yourself in South Trillis. I didn't have a lot of green fabric left, but hopefully this Bloodshard Bandits patch finds its way safely to you. There is some sap on the back, and it adheres to whatever you put it on when you wave a torch over it. Warden, I heard you are making a name for yourself as an accomplished fighter. Inside this envelope is a morning calisthenics routine that Drell and I made together. It will help make you a more flexible warrior as you dive, dip, duck, dive, and dodge enemy attacks. Rommel, it must be tough being a tree creature. Just in case you ever find yourself marooned somewhere with no soil around, I've sewn together an emergency sack of soil. What you're going to do is you're going to place it inside your branch body and take it out just in case you're not even close to land. Hello, Rains. I heard you may have resurfaced and are somehow still alive after our battle in the sewers. Inside is a bag full of dead flies that my Sids collected. If you leave the townsfolk of Aramor alone, I will send you a monthly installment of grubs. Sly, you have proven yourself worthy to become a Bloodshard Bandit. I heard about your amazing were-raccoon transformation, so you will fit right in with Drell. Inside, you will also find Sid of the Moon. He is one of my Sids that got bit by a were-beetle, and he will be aiding you in your next mission. Please also read the detailed mission notes below. And now we have the Sidget College alumni. These gifts should help you in your studies. Also, don't let these gifts sway your decision, but I would love to be your commencement speaker for the graduation ceremony next year, so if you could cast your vote for Minnis PebbleWalker of the Ivory Boulders, that would be great. Andrew Hall! I was never the smartest Minotaur, but I did take lots of notes as I traveled through Umbrea. Here is what I call Minnis's Beginner's Guide to Ranger Magic. I don't know if it actually applies to any of your classes, but it couldn't hurt to learn. Patrick Wennerstrom, or I should use your stage name, Punk. I heard you smashed your last loot at the Battle of the Bards competition, so here's a new one I found in San Lo, made by a Minotaur Bard. The Minotaur writing you see on the fretboard says Rock and Knoll. Please handle it with care. Robots, please do not throw the pebbles away. This is a squadron of microcids that I sent to aid your bread people in the Battle of Whole Grain Bay. May they serve you well. St. Chaos, I heard you made it out of jail and are working with the winery at Lelouch's Farm and Vineyard. Inside are some berries, though I'm not sure they stayed fresh during transport, so apologies in advance if you smell this letter before you read it. Sergio Rodriguez, you may be a Red Guard, but I heard you saved Sid Sr. from a wolf during one of his recruitment missions. Here are some blood shards I may have taken from Armos when he wasn't looking, that you can turn in for a promotion. Let's call that even. And last but not least are Humbrea's heroes. I sent a gift basket to the guild hall with a ton of stuff I think you'll all enjoy. John Carroll and Tom Tully, I heard you were pretty new to the guild, so I put some quills and parchment so you can take notes. For Alec's Dread, I sent you some manacles to bind your next villain. Will Miller, aka Isker Storm, you will find a special oil mixture to shine your scales. For Johnny Tar, please accept this old hand axe to aid you on your adventures. Odemel, I hope you like these flowers. I thought they might look nice in your braids. And for Man with Glass, I found an old glass blowing kit in a dungeon. Perhaps you can make good use of it. I can't thank you all enough for aiding us in our quest. If you would like to join us in any capacity, please head on over to patreon.com/DND404. Love, Minnis PebbleWalker.